Hello, my beautiful people, my brothers and sisters in Christ. Just want to get on here and let you know all the jobs I've had and my experiences. So, before I was an e commerce reseller, we'll start with when I was 16 years old, my first job. So, Lee Winter Molding Company in Sharpsburg. We got off the Beatty bus in the morning, it was like afternoon, and the counselor was like, "Anybody want a job?" Like, "Yes, sir. I'm pretty bored. I'm just getting high after school." So, I stepped up for first in line. I don't think there was anybody behind me. So, it was after my mom passed away. I was living with my grandfather. He bought me a little, I think it was 99 Saturn, $300 vehicle. I was grateful for it. Got me from A to B. So, I take up on this job. I'm working 40, 50-hour weeks, getting paid $188 after taxes, making $7 an hour. So this is where I come from. $7 an hour, enough to put a little gasoline in my tank, buy a little herb here and there, and some new Nikes when I wanted them. But everybody I've ever met, I was always pretty nice to, even when I was an atheist and didn't believe, wasn't a believer. So, so I talked to the employees there, and some of these guys were there 20 plus years, and they're like complaining to me how they can't pay their bills. Some of them had to move to cheaper locations, cheaper states just to live. So, you can only feel so much pity for the common man, right? If they're not willing to change their scenario, change their outcome. So, you know, they complained to me about they've been working there for 20 years and they maxed out at 15 an hour, and you know, I obviously knew I didn't want to do that my whole life, but it was a good step in the door to figure out what I wanted to do, right? So, my second job, I did that for about 2 years. My second job was helping my grandma's business, helping my uncle, remodeling houses, demolition, clean outs. This was way before I even knew what reselling was or e-commerce. And so I did that for some years after that. Got some under the table money, tax free money. So I did that for a few years, and then eventually I didn't want to do that anymore. I think the last job I did, we had to clean out with a power washer. There was no floor drainage in the basement we were working in, and the tenant had two mastiffs, and I'm talking shit like lumps, some really big poop in the basement, and it was all just caked on the floor, real dried out. So we had to push it out the front door with some big brooms and a power washer, and let's just say that was my last day working for my grandma. Yeah, I couldn't. They said, "You want to come back tomorrow and do the same thing?" I said, "No." So at this point, I'm out of my grandpa's house. He kicked me out, like, I think it was 19 years old. Kicked me out. I'm on my own. I'm living in Etna in a 2-bedroom apartment on the 3rd floor. And so, I need a job. So I talked to my father. He's starting his own company. I helped him, for about a year or two under the table, working for him, sprinkler fitting in the city of Pittsburgh and surrounding locations. So, oh, Halo. So we were doing that, and then he's like, "If you want to do this for a career, you're going to have to join the union." So I joined the union. First year in the union, I'm really not feeling it. I'm like, we got to pay union dues. They're taking a quarter of my paycheck. These guys are all miserable. So the guy I'm working for was my father, but he had other guys underneath him working for him at this point when I joined the union. And these guys, man, they were haters. Haters, had a very positive, very negative mindset. There's no positivity in the environment. They showed me what they were doing after work, snorting coke. They never let me do that stuff because they knew it was going to do to me, ruin my life. So they'd snort cokes. We'd be smoking weed after work. They'd be drinking, boozing, stopping at bars after work. To celebrate, we go to the bar. Like, come on now. No, I don't even drink or smoke. Not even a toke. Clear-minded. So, I indulge in all that, messing with whores and sneaking around. I had a girlfriend at the time. And we're sneaking around. We're messing with whores. And not living very good. So then my cousin passed away, Taylor. Died at like 23 years old. And I took a look in the mirror after that. And that was like a little wake-up call. I'm like, geez, maybe tomorrow isn't promised, So I look in the mirror and I said, do you really want to do this the rest of your life? Look at the guys that are doing it, the foremans, and look how they're living. Most of them are single, most of them, like I said, they're just indulging in drugs just to wake up at 4:30 in the morning the next day and go back to work and do it all again. 7 to 3, right? 9 to 5 for some people, but union workers are usually 7 to 3, 8-hour days. So, so I'm like, do I really want to do this? I don't enjoy the work. I don't enjoy going to school for 2 hours, a couple days a week after working for 8 hours a day. I just want to go home and enjoy my life. And so one of the union guys, he goes, first year class is like the first speech they give you. Oh, at the end of your 5 years, you're going to make $250,000 at the end of the 5 years. Well, I know math. That's $50,000 a year after taxes. What's that? $30,000 a year, maybe 40 if you're lucky. So everybody's thinking the first year they're like, I could buy a Lamborghini Huracan if I got no bills and I don't, snort cocaine and smoke dope and drink alcohol every day. But they're all doing that because they don't like. I mean, maybe some of them like their job, but most of them, it's a hard life, man. Climbing ladders, you're in attics all day, you're hanging pipe, you're all working above your head. Things can fall on your face. You could fall off a ladder, you could fall off a stair lift and die. It's a dangerous work environment. You're threading pipe, oil's coming in your face. You're breathing in fumes, like burning oil. And the damn threader could rip your hand right off. It's ripped guys' hands off before. So you got to be very careful. And it's a high-stress environment, And I'm looking at this, and I'm like, I can't do this. After my cousin died, I was like, wake-up call. You're not doing this the rest of your life. So I got to figure out what I'm doing, right? So after that happens, shortly after, I get in a car accident in Pittsburgh. Somebody rear ends the back of my car. I get my head off the dashboard. I pass out for maybe a minute. I wake up. The guy's like, oh, whole spiel. We get out. I call the cops. The guy's like, I didn't hit your car. I'm like, come on, bro. I start recording them. I'm like, all right, well, I can barely think, so I'm gonna start recording what's going on here. Cops show up. We do the police report. I didn't have full tort, so I couldn't sue the guy, but I just had the basic insurance. If you have basic insurance, good luck if you get in an accident. I don't have full tort till this day because I can't afford it, but that's a good thing to know. And so I'm going So I'm laid off. I'm laid off. I'm in the union. Still going to school a couple days a week for a couple hours a night. But the whole time I'm like, I gotta figure this out. I gotta get out of this. This is not for me. And so I'm reselling. I'm going to yard sales. I'm flipping things on the side. I'm making some money, but I'm not focused on it. I'm still messing with whores, and I put that before anything. I was an atheist. I wasn't putting God before. I wasn't putting my business and my relationships in the hand of Jesus Christ of Nazareth. I didn't know any better. Nobody taught me these things. I had to learn it all by myself. So, so we're doing that. I'm working on the side. My first like, whoa, I can probably do this for a living was I went to a yard sale, found a Bulgarian nativity set. It's ironic because I was atheist. Sold that for $500, shipped it to California. Everything was a sweet deal. So that was kind of my wake-up call, like, if I really focus in on this, you're going to be making some money. But, So the end of the year came. You get a couple months off, and then you got to go back to school next year. You got to do 5 years of this. And, paying union dues, taking your money out of your paycheck, all that. And you don't even get benefits till you're like your 5th year. So, insurance was okay, but, nothing crazy. So I'm like, a couple of months go by. I'm still collecting unemployment. I'm still doing what I need to do to hustle, make ends meet. And then my dad and the union guys are, it's time to sign up for your 2nd year of school. And I'm like, call the guy. I'm like, look, man, I'm not coming back. So he sends me, the head guy down there, he sends me, Kevin. What's up, Kevin? He sends me a link, like a marijuana link, probably just messing with me. But I needed that, It's little seeds that are planted that you don't get right away. You think people are hating on you, but maybe they're actually looking out for you. And so I'm like, I don't know, whatever. I must keep smoking my weed. And so, time comes where, my unemployment runs up. Dad's like, you coming back to work? The union's like, you coming to the 2nd year of schooling? And I'm telling everybody, no. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I'm not even making enough to pay my bills doing this e-commerce stuff. So one of my family friends, he's a landscaper. He was just working for himself. So he needed somebody to come on his crew and help him with all these properties he's managing. So I step on up. I'm like, I can run a walk behind, I can run a 0-turn lawnmower. I can do the weed whacking. I've been doing this stuff my whole life. I actually kind of enjoyed it. And then, after a couple months of that, you get sick of that too. But, I'm glad I had all these jobs because it shaped me into the man I was, the man I am. You got to do jobs, that you aren't getting paid much to do because you don't have much value in the marketplace. You're a worker. The workers get taxed the most. Employees get taxed the most. When you're a boss, you're a businessman. You can write off your rent. You can write off a portion of your bills. You can write off your phone bill. You can write off your truck payment. You can write off everything. Oil. Some food. Portion of everything. And I'm not a tax advisor, but find a good tax person if you're gonna work for yourself. So you get to keep a lot more of your money when you're a boss. So I do my taxes, find a good tax advisor, and I'm still hustling, still working part-time for this landscaper because he doesn't have a whole bunch of work for me, really. We're doing 30-hour weeks, 40-hour weeks sometimes, but I needed like 60, 70, 60-hour weeks just to sustain myself and pay these bills and do the vices I was hooked to, like weed and going out with different women and all this other stuff. And so I do that for about a year, part-time landscaping, part-time reselling, e-commerce, just doing eBay. I didn't know about the other platforms yet. And eventually, I started making more on eBay, doing part time than I was landscaping. So I told the landscaper guy, I said, "See ya, Brent. Thanks for the job, but I gotta go." And you know, everybody gotta go at some point, right? You can't stay in a job forever, especially if you don't enjoy it. And I'm thinking to myself, I could be a landscaper and this and that, but then I realized that I really didn't enjoy the work. After a while, it's just taxing. It just feels like you're just another slave to something else. So we go full time eBay. First year I made like $30,000. Second year it was like 40 or 50. Third year it was like 50. My fourth year, this year, I think we made close to 80,000. And that's working 40 plus hours a week, answering questions at all hours of the day, and questions, returns. You don't get as many returns as you think you do, especially if you know what you're doing. But it takes time. I had to spend $5,000-$6,000 just learning what to and what not to buy, because I didn't understand sold comps and the market value of things. I can ask $300 for this nice hat, but it's only worth $20. That's market value. Nobody's gonna pay $300 for a $20 hat. So you gotta kind of figure all this out. You can learn from me, and you don't have to do all that crap. But so I'm not here for myself. I'm here to share my story. I'm here to help other young men that are feeling lost in the world. At least give them a little taste of what I got, right? A little grace. So here we are, right? 4 years later. Start the YouTube, helping others. I get more joy out of helping other people than being self-centered and serving yourself. That's all the devil. The devil is doubt, fear, envy, hate. God is powerful, pride, joy, giving. Just a total different mindset shift. But all these coworkers I was working with, they wouldn't even foot my ladder most of the time. They're 60 feet in the sky up on the ladder, and these guys aren't even footing my ladder. They're setting me up at job sites so I can get hurt because I'm the boss's son. I don't know. I don't hate them or nothing, but people are evil, man. The world is evil. It's an evil place, and there needs to be men that are masculine, that can stand up for themselves and stand up for their families and sacrifice their time and energy to provide for others. And that's what being a man's about. It's about being dangerous, not dangerous like you're gonna hurt anybody, but dangerous is like somebody's coming for you and your family, that you're gonna be the first one to, let's go, you know what I mean? Let's go. You need to learn hands-on combat skills if you can afford it. If you can't afford it, look it up on YouTube. I learned most of everything I know on YouTube. But I started Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. We got to get back into it. But I got beat down by a guy named Parker. He threw me over his shoulder. He's like, I'm 6'3". This guy's like 5'2" with a beer belly. He's whooping my ass. That'll humble you. That'll humble you, man. That'll humble you. So what I want to start doing is, now that I have some more freedom, I want to do 6-week course, 6 weeks of jiu-jitsu, 6 weeks of boxing, 6 weeks of karate, 6 weeks of taekwondo, and just be overall rounded. Not just with the guns and the knives, but you got to be dangerous, hands-on. If I end up in a third world country and I have no weapons, who are you? What kind of man are you? So you got to be dangerous on multiple levels, right? Be dangerous. Don't be safe. Be dangerous. All right, man up. Don't be afraid. Don't let them take your muscles. Get working out. And look at the porch setup we got here. Look at this. We got the weight bench. We got the pull-up bar. We got the puppy love. Hi, Halo. You're star of the show. Don't let the world beat you down. Don't let people's negativity and I feel like people are just so nasty. They just they reflect who they are like a mirror, right? They're like reflecting their doubt, their hate, their, you know, it's evil. It's evil. You should not. And if you're an evil person, be evil. You know, go ahead, be evil. Be in the abyss when you die. You know, the abyss isn't a fiery place. Hell isn't like fire and pitchforks. I wish it was, but hell is just separation from God, right? It's the abyss. It's the nothingness. Separation from God is hell. So, you know, keep your Jesus peace. Keep it in your heart. You know, I just feel like I need to share my faith because I think it would help other young men. If you put God before your relationships, if you put Jesus Christ of Nazareth, Yeshua before everything, man, just, you know, what I've started doing is reading the Bible every day. I started praying every day, all day. I get down on my knees. I tell the Lord my name. Tell him your name. Tell him you transgressed against him. Tell him you're repenting. Tell him you're sorry. You know, you gotta show the man that created you in the womb. Say, you know, you're still filthy rags. You're dust. You're from the corrupt dust of the world. But you're trying to do better. You know, you transgressed against him. So you gotta own up. Be a man, right? Just be a man. Don't be afraid to learn fighting skills and learn how to. And I'm gonna start getting into hunting next deer season. Go crossbow hunting in the backyard or on land. You know, nobody ever taught me none of this stuff. I'm gonna learn it all for myself before I have children, so I can teach them what nobody's ever taught me: how to be a man, right? How to provide for your family. And it says in Genesis that God created all the wild animals for us to eat, right? All the seeds and grain-bearing fruit, and everything's for us to eat. You know, so why should I have to go pay a hunter or pay the government, like, I don't know, $100 to go kill a deer? I mean, I'll do it because, you know, I pay my taxes and everything. But like, if stuff did hit the fan, you think I'd be asking permission? Of course not. I'd be providing. I'm not asking permission. That's why I believe in your right to carry and bear arms, because, you know, the police gonna take them an hour, half hour to show up to a scene. So, you know, nobody's coming to save you. You're a man. Man up. Appreciate you guys for watching. Like, share, subscribe. We're at 50 subscribers. They didn't let me get the live yet. I'm not sure why, but maybe it takes like 48 hours or something for them to see that. But I appreciate you guys more than you know. I'm here for you. I'm not here for me. Selfless. Deny thyself, deny thy flesh. Thank you. Much agape phileo. Trust in the Lord.